Hi everyone, welcome back. You can see I have a mess around me today, and the reason is that I was doing something and then my mower man turned up and I had to stop, and I kept on going because I had to stop filming, but I'll catch up with you. So this is my inspiration today. Let me just get that in frame. So it's called The Wonky Tonk Girls by Dahlia Blevis, and it is from the Somerset Studio Magazine again, February, March, April 2021, and she has done these lovely tags. So she's used some little images. She's obviously drawn those herself. Maybe they're stamped. I can't quite remember. Let's see. It doesn't seem to say, but I'm sure that if I sat and read it in detail, I would know. She has used distress oxide as well. I'm not using that today. This is just what I'm taking some inspiration from. And when I did yesterday's, I mentioned that I could have used the photo booth, Tim Holtz photo booth images instead of the paper dolls. So today I am going to use them, and I've already done one, and I'll confess the reason why I finished this one is because it was a complete disaster and I had to pull it apart and try it again. So in all honesty, that's really what happened. And then of course then the mower man turned up, so then I thought, well, I'll finish it off now because it's a disaster. And I'm actually reasonably happy with the result. So I've done it on some manila card, just the file folders. I've used a piece of paper which comes from the magazine, which is actually the artist paper, and this time it's the Lynn Moncrief artist paper. And I have put some wings down. These are from the Stamperia chipboard for Lady Vagabond or Sir Vagabond. I'm not sure which one that is, but you know the pieces. It's the one that, you know, the chipboard pieces, and I've used those before. And then I have the book page. This is some more of that German book page. I've just cut it into shapes of petals, and I've then put this flower down because I was using this flower and I pulled one of the petals off, and I thought, well, I'm probably just going to use it anyway. It looks a bit random, but I quite like it. Some Tim Holtz washi tape and some of the or one of the quotes from the book that I used yesterday, if I could find it here. This one here, which is your clipping sticker book, though they don't come in this spiral anymore, I don't believe. He does them in a set with other things now. So that's what I have used, and that's one of the tags. Oh, and I've also put the chipboard at the top and just chopped it into a tag shape. I'm actually reasonably happy with that. But what I'm trying to do, because the inspiration piece is so bright, I'm trying to brighten up a little bit. It's quite difficult for me, you know, I run to these colours. This is my sort of comfort zone. So let's see if I can make it a little bit brighter. I'll put that one aside. I have started on the next one, and I've cut the paper doll. Where is she? Here. And this was part of the disaster from the last one on a different paper doll, and completely I ended up throwing that one out. But I thought I'd try and use it because I stuck it on her head, and I didn't even really stick it very well, and it just looked really cool sitting on her head like that. So I've just trimmed around the photo booth, and I've chosen dolls, or people I should say, that are looking at the camera because I want them to look. I've chosen this one, but I think she's got her side turned head. I'm not sure if that's going to work, so I've tried to find ones that are looking directly at the camera. And then with this one, I was going to put some bright paper down, but I've got this, which is from the magazine I was using a couple of days ago, the book. And I think I did use a bit of this the other day, and it was all in one piece. And I thought, what if I tear that off and interlace it with some more of this? This is another picture from that book. I'm not sure where it went there. And I thought, what if I interlace this through that and see, would that look fine? And when I put her on this paper, she's just perfect. Like the colour of her, tone of her dress and everything is just perfect for this background. So I've got another one cut with the bright paper from the book, from the Studio Magazine. And I am going to try that one to try and bring some brightness in. But of course I've gone back to this, haven't I? I went, oh look, this looks really nice now. So I will now glue this down on here and see if I can make something work for this one. So I'm going to start with that one down the bottom because it's got the straight edge, and obviously I'll have to trim them off. And then I just cut across these and trimmed them up a little bit and thought that they would look maybe a bit weird, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to look good actually. I'm trusting my instinct on this, that I'm going to get something that looks really nice and unique. So put these down here, and then I wanted another piece, which is this piece here. So I'm going to put that across there, a little bit showing there. I might just have to tip it and tip it over a little bit, and then I'll push it up. I know I've covered the face, but it doesn't really matter. It's not about the faces, it's about creating a look. So let's put some down here, all over the table, this one here, and then the final piece can go on top. Just want to check that that is, yeah, that's on there. So that when I cut it all off, which I'll do now, got some glue on my table here, let me get that off. When I cut it off, it hopefully will look all right. And that's what it looks like once I've cut that off. I think that's pretty cool, huh? And now I will put her on. I think that I'll leave her hair on, her hat on like that. Might put her down a little bit. Where am I going to put her? I'm going to have to stick that on again. I told you I just popped it there randomly and it stuck, and I thought, oh, that looks really good. So that's why I ended up leaving it on her. It's one of those hats, you know, from the 50s that they used to have, and probably the 30s and 40s too. These weird sort of big hats that they used to wear that had no sort of reason or rhyme to them. I think I'm going to put her down here. I want to hide that lady's face, or at least her eyes, and then the feather will just sort of, you can just see that lady peeping out there. So I will just temporarily pop her down because I'm not sure what I'm going to put behind her yet, if anything. So if I just get her down on top of that woman's face, and then I can see what else I can put down. So I do have lots of other things here on the table. It's a complete and utter mess, but we'll deal with that later. I do have some paper still left over from yesterday, and I've also got these, which are type chips. These are the Tim Holtz ones, type chips they're called. I wonder if I can put like something like that. Now I will pop the type chip just down along her shoulder, I think, just under here and under there. I don't know why, I just sort of thought that might be the place to put it. And I did want to let you know that I had a comment or a message from Melissa, who won my, that's not going to look any good, who won the 3,000, getting ahead of myself, the 3,000 subby giveaway. I had a message from her this morning saying that it had arrived, which is really super quick, so I was quite surprised by that, and that she loved it, so that was good that it arrived. I don't want to hide those people, that's not going down there. So thanks Melissa for letting me know that it had arrived. It was very good to hear. I also have some leaves. What about some leaves? That might look good too. Let me cut the bottom of that. It's got just a little wire stem on it, and I don't need that piece. In fact, I could probably pull it off. Let's see if it'll, oh yes, it's going to probably tear the leaf a little bit. So I'm going to use these tags in a journal, which is what you could do as a journaling spot. I'll pop that over here, and I'm going to put this behind here. And I also have a green one. Maybe I'll put the green in for some contrast. And tuck that up there behind the feather. I'm going to end up covering this woman's face. I just know it. I want something to run across there. Pull that off. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there, like that. Just cut that down a little bit and get it very tiny. And then pop it on. These little things I think make all the difference, just going that extra mile to take your time and put some things on. Because I think that's, to me, that's what makes the piece go from pretty ordinary to, you know, a bit more less ordinary. I don't know, it's my opinion, it's my piece. I guess I can, you know, say whatever I want. Actually, you know what I want to use is these. I could use that. Maybe yeah, I will. Actually, I'm gonna cut this out. I'd like to tear it, but the paper's quite thick and glossy, so I don't think it's going to tear very well. Nothing says I can't use this just by itself, is there? I want to put it under there, I think, like that. Just push it under. I was going to put it down here, but I think it looks a bit too down there. That's my way of saying that it's pretty bad if it goes down there. What about up there? Okay, let's stick it down and poke it in, and then I'm going to trim it off. I quite like that. I think that looks quite good so far. And I'm wondering if I can get this other little flower somewhere. Probably too much, is it? Or would I put it up here like I did the other one on top of those petals? Probably yes, I think. I like that too. And you just have to go with your gut, I reckon. I don't know. I'm just looking at what I like. You might not like it, but I think it's very cool to play with this sort of stuff and see what you can create. And I really like the putting of the other paper, the picture, through the original image and, you know, tearing that and then having those other pictures of people in the background. Should I stop now? Probably not. Knowing me, I want to do more than that to it. I do like to keep putting things on until I can't put any more. I wonder if I put this little bit that I had left over down here. Oh, it's so tiny. I think I can get it on though. And just tear that off. Hang on. Okay. Let me just get that. In fact, that needs to be stuck because it's just coming up a little bit. There you go. And the next thing I'm thinking that I'm going to do, I'm going to tear more of this paper in a little strip. Now, this may not work. If it don't work, that's fine. So I've just squished that paper up again rather than trying to make a flower out of it. I've just squished it into a little ball of scrap stuff. And just try and push it around like this, and then I'm going to shove it in here. I'll place it very delicately in here. I just want to be able to see some of that writing on it, really. I'll have to put some glue down. It's not going to work unless I glue it. Okay, just under that flower there, just under the petal. I just needed to put something on there. I wasn't liking how that was working. I've also got this ticket, which is just an old ticket, but I think that one is a little too big. I wanted to use it as like a tag top. Maybe I can just cut that. This is an actual vintage ticket, this one. It's not a piece of craft ephemera. It's actually something that I have. And I'm just going to trim it because I trimmed it a bit crooked. How surprising. Okay, I haven't cut the tag shape, I just realised. Let me just chop this into a tag shape. I think it'll look better when it's in a tag to have that at the top. And I like that bit of red because it's kind of tying in with everything else. Will I put that bit or will I put this bit? I think I like that bit better. Yep, this bit. What do you think? And now, like, I know it's not very bright. I understand my failings in terms of trying to push myself to make it bright. It's a little bit brighter than the other one though, but it's not very bright, is it? But it's very cool. I do like that very much. I think that I like how that turned out. Yep, so that's definitely a tag that I'll use in my journal. And of course I can put a hole through and put some ribbon or something through later. Not sure if I'll do that. I quite like it how it is actually, but we'll see what happens later on. Okay, so let's put that one aside. And now I've got the one that I did with the blue and the yellow. Now I'm really going to push myself to be bright. I've got a bright background. I need to choose something bright, so let's see. I've got this woman here, she's very cheery looking. And what else have I got? I've got some blue. Is that blue? It is too. Look at that. I've got some blue flowers, these canvas flowers. I'll try not to put the brown one on. I'll try and put the brown paper to one side for now. And I do have more of that blue and yellow paper. So I think I just have to work out what I'm going to do here. Maybe I'll give her a swooshy hat like that. They used to wear hats like that, I'm sure. First of all, I'll cut around her. And I'll just grab this and chop her around her hair. Try and get sort of her hair. I think there was another person standing beside her at some point before they made this into a photo booth person. Try and get in there around her chin. And there you go. Now I'm going to put her kind of off center again. I could do it like that. No, I think I'll do it the other way. I'll probably end up cutting that in half anyway. She's got a bit of a flat spot on her head anyway. It's perfect for putting a hat on. But I have to work out what I'm going to do to keep her nice and bright. She's not very bright, I know. I've only got some pink washi and that's not going to go. I could go back to this one. No. I'll have to try and find something that can go with her. First of all, I'm going to cut this in half and get it on her head. Okay. Actually, I don't like that now I've done that. I might have another one. I liked it when it was actually thick like this. I could put this one inside so you could see. Oh, look at that. Even better. Okay, let's stick it down and at least get the hat prepared, if nothing else. Let's put it up a little bit. Yep, so it's sticking over. So I'm going to position her down here where I had her before, because that is like, you know, if you're talking about cutting your paper into thirds, you know, that's sort of toward the bottom third and toward the right hand third, and that's what you should do to make your piece look good. You probably shouldn't put dodgy hats on them if you want them to look good, but I'm going with that today. I like to dress these people in hats. I think it's very cool. So I've got her a lovely hat, and you know what? Where's those flowers? I wonder if I can stick one of them on her dodgy hat. What do you think? Even better, don't you reckon? She's now got a really cool hat with a flower on it. Okay, flower it is. So I've got some washi that I think maybe will work this time. This is the Jane Davenport washi. I'm going to start by ripping that on there, and I'm going to tear it and hope that it will look all right. Oh, it's stuck on my finger. It's very sticky washi, this washi. So I'm going to tear it like that. I'm going to put a piece down here. I'll put this over the top maybe. What's that look like? No, that looks a bit weird. Don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to use this. Maybe I could put it up here. Up here. Maybe I can put it under here, coming out from under her hat. I don't like that either. Let me try that again. See if I can tear it a little bit more to make it even thinner. It's working. think. Yes, it's working. Yes, okay, it did work. And put a piece up here. And then maybe I'll put the other piece over here. That should look okay. Not all the way to the edge, just there. All right, at least that's got some bright in there. Because I want to use this book paper, but I'm trying hard not to. This definitely needs something else on it. See, this is what happens when I try and push myself toward bright. I find it very difficult, and that means that I sort of tend to go back to what I know, which I guess that's human nature. Now what I have here is the rest of the paper that I used on the background, and I've got this one. I might have to cut these again, I think. And it says almost. Just randomly cut it crooked, try and get it to work. And then I've got this bit down here which says never. This is me trying to do bright, almost never. Maybe this will be my sample, my token bright piece that sits somewhere in my journal. Maybe I'll put that one down here, down here. Struggling, hang on. Nope, that's got to go back there where it landed, and never, like that. Almost, and then I'm still struggling with where to put never. I would like to put it under that washi maybe. I think I will. I'll lift the washi up. Hopefully it'll lift up not too hard. No, it's lifted. And I'll stick my never down. Here. And I'm putting the washi back on and then trim that edge. That actually doesn't look too bad. I feel like I need to, you know, put some book page down. So I possibly am going to. That means I will, in case you're wondering. Oh dear. If you have watched me for a while, you know me by now, and I love my book page, but book paper, I have to try and get it straight though. I can't have that like that. And I like these little tiny slivery bits that I'm trying to do. And I think if I put that on, it's probably going to save it from looking not me, which it does a bit at the moment, doesn't it? Yep, that can go down there. So if I just go down and do another tiny little sliver, it's really hard to get them to tear when they're small like this, and put it up here. Maybe this one would have been better. Oh, I'll try another piece. And try and get this to tear in a tiny strip, which is quite difficult. Yes, see, it's coming together now. I can see my vision. I've got the bright, but I'm adding back in my style. So that just wasn't doing it for me. That bit there. And I think I need another piece, maybe here on that straight line. That straight line's not enough, and I want it to come down into a point. So let me think about how I'll tear this. And try and get this tearing into a little point or a smaller bit at the end. Like that. I'll take this little bit here off and stick it down. I think that's much better. Now it's got some book page on it. I think that, you know, to me, it's still bright. For me, it's bright, isn't it? Very bright. But I like that I've got that book page. So I found this one. It says brimmed with confidence. Almost never. Oh, maybe I have to put it down there. I quite like it. Maybe I'll put it up here. There you go, I'm going to put it down there. Now I'm going to leave it. I'm going to try and walk away. Walk away. Step away from the tag, Deborah. That's what I think I have to do, is just move away and come back to it later and something might spark. And I'm just going to leave that. Okay, so let's have a look at the final 3 and then I'll get the inspiration piece back in. So they're the pieces that I have done, and I just have to flick through and find this inspiration piece now because I can't find it. Hang on. I know it's here somewhere. It's after them. It's here. Here it is. Totally different. Absolutely, completely, utterly and totally different. But my take on these, remember? My inspiration. So that's what I've been inspired to do. Totally different to what the person who did this is, which is Dahlia Blevins from Orange County, California. And that is my take on my interpretation. So it doesn't have to be, as I said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be copying what you see in the magazine. It just has to be something that's going to give you some inspiration. And that was for me today. That was actually this one I really struggled with. But, you know, I really like what I've done with this one, and in the end this one, even though I completely started again nearly. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I might do some more inspiration pieces to get your creative juices flowing so you can get your own magazines out. You don't have to have this magazine, or you can do an inspiration from this magazine. And if you do one, like even if you do something like I've done here with this particular article or yesterday's article, please don't forget to share it with me on Instagram, or you can share it on my Facebook group. All the details are below. And I would love to see what you have done and see if you've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone. For now, this is Deborah. Thanks for watching. Cheers.